Good evening and welcome to Laughing Monkey. Boris, how are you?
I'm great, man. Thanks for having me.
I've
I'm
been
glad to
wanting to
be
have you
here.
on for a while. I know you're a busy guy. You're a busy guy, and I've been enjoying your videos and being a creator. I hate saying I was a creator, but being someone who does YouTube and has videos and how busy it is, I don't watch a lot of other people's stuff. I just don't have the time or the energy. I'm sure you
Yeah, yeah.
understand that.
Oh, yeah,
So I'm
yeah,
very
yeah.
choosy about what I do and listen to. So you're one of the few people I watch because I enjoy it. Something I don't know a lot about. I know a lot about a lot of music, but that scene, the black metal scene, I'm pretty new to it, to not really as deep
Yep.
as you go. So I've been learning a lot through your channel and enjoying your you got the charisma and your girlfriends. It's funny, it's lighthearted, it's educational, and you've got some great music.
Thanks, man.
So welcome to the show. Let's start with the channel itself, and it's on the links will be there for everybody. Check out your music, follow you, and subscribe to you, and all the socials, and especially on YouTube because you're promoting and you're doing stuff quite often on there.
Yeah, yeah,
The, let's start with the channel. The start of that channel for you, 'cause it looks like you start off just to get producing your music. It evolved, right?
yeah. True. The channel started actually as my band channel. It was called Tryglav Official. So I started just to upload the playthrough or some songs that I was playing of the
Mhm.
band, and just to test the camera. I remember at the time I posted also a solo cover of Freezing Moon by Mayhem, and I
Yeah, it's
didn't even
good.
and I didn't even think about it for I think months, because I didn't upload anything else, for the band. And when I came back to it, I've seen that video of Freezing Moon actually started to
Yeah,
get views, and I started to get subscribers every day. So I was like, you know what, I can actually try, to do some more stuff like more cover, etc. I still kept Triglav official just to
right.
get some exposure for the band. But then at some point when the channel started to grow, and people started to know me for other things than my band, then I decided to change the name to Boris T.
Right. You've become bigger than your own band name. Actually, you've evolved in a way that you've become
Yeah,
your own. The danger is you become a brand of yourself. You know.
yeah, unexpectedly, yeah, yeah.
Well, that's
It
because you have a
went.
good personality. And I think there's a very a likable relatableness to you. So, I mean, that's what I see when I watch you. It's very enjoyable. It's not, somebody
Yeah, I
stiff.
feel that that people can see someone that with who they resemble. For example,
Mhm.
like there's a lot of people in the scene, that are just like me, and probably watching my videos, there is they see themselves, me in themselves,
Yeah.
So probably because of that reason, I don't know.
I think people don't realize that like that's been part of my success is I just created a show where I probably used to during COVID too that I wanted artists on from different genres and not talk about gossip and stuff and just talk about music. Are you serving a song? Are you writing a song? What's the process? And respecting them and advertising for them, and but not being yeah, just being yourself, being relatable
Yeah,
to everybody else, and not being a name. That's I had a name I show put my name on it because somebody gave me a hard time, but the original name of it for legal reasons. But originally, I don't want to be a name. I just wanted the show this nonsense name for that reason.
yeah, yeah. I totally get it. At the beginning, when I started also the channel, I was still playing a little bit character.
Mhm.
Um, I try to always be serious because I'm like, hey, I'm playing black metal. I have to show myself in a different way. Okay, which when it comes to my band, I will never upload memes or stuff like this on my band
Right.
page, etc. This is that's serious.
Mhm.
But I didn't want to fake the person I am, behind the camera. So the guys that people see right now, for example, my channel, that's me in real life. It's not there's no fake. It's just me. And I got to some point. I'm like, I just don't want to be myself.
So you've evolved, and probably most people know you, and they can check out and go through it. You can just like 5, 6 years like me. Do you start, but over time you start doing like more like hikes, and you have your girlfriend on, and then you start doing like reviews, and then you play a lot of different instruments, and you start like to mix it up a lot. I think over time it evolved. Was that
Yeah.
like where were you at? Because I know how I've struggled with different ideas, and even doing an interview type show, I've tried to do reactions from me, but I've tried to do like some record things and have other people on, other musicians on. Like, what was that evolution like for you to kind of figure out where you're at in your corner of the internet?
Everything started, I think, when I did the first video blog about Mayhem, when I visited the place where they used to live together and the
Yeah, that's a
station
good
and
one.
stuff like this. And that was at the time of the COVID, you know. And I remember I was talking to my girlfriend. I was like, I hope at least 200 people watch this video, because before of that I started to do some reactions.
Yeah,
They were going pretty well, but I never really enjoyed reactions. So
I agree with you.
I enjoyed that people enjoyed it, but wasn't really funny for me to do it, But I was like, okay, people enjoy it, let's do it. But when I did that video, I was thinking, okay, let's hope someone will watch it, and that video literally exploded. And I'm like, hey, okay, I did something that I love. I love vlogs. I love documenting those places, and looks like people really like it. So
Hmm.
let's try more. And that was literally accidental, because I went to visit those places with my girlfriend just as a fan of those places, but we filmed, to put
Yeah.
something online. So when I saw that people liked it, I couldn't be more happier. I, and I just started to do something that I like.
Yeah, that's a secret. I mean, I evolved trying to do other things. People like, you need to do it this way. And I tried it and it didn't work as well. And they said, the way you do it is not going to work. And now I got bigger than those guys and they dropped off. And I think in anybody doing YouTube shows, just you got to do what you want to do. Don't do it for money, don't for any reason. Do what you like to do because that's the only way you're going to enjoy it. If you're trying to follow trends, you can be chasing numbers and it's so unsatisfying. Feel
No,
gross, I
because
think.
the problem with the trends is that they are trends.
Yeah.
So when you do something that you love, um, yes, it can be underground, it can be whatever, but when you're passionate with it, you will find your audience. Let's say,
Hmm.
it's like with music. You could play like commercial metal, get more exposure, but if you're not passionate with it, you will never succeed. So it doesn't matter how much a genre is underground, but if you put yourself into it, you will find your audience. That's what I
Right.
think.
No, I agree with you. I think that's, and I think I went back and I looked at some of the other stuff, but I think the Mayhem was one of the first ones I saw, actually. I was getting into your stuff because, for the past few years, I've been listening more and more to it. And I'm like, I don't really know a lot about it. I know a lot about every other kind of music, but this is a genre I'm so new about, and it's so exciting for me because, like, I don't know,
Yeah,
something sonically for my ears lately. I've had tendonitis, but something's allowed me to. It hasn't been as abrasive anymore. For some reason, as I get older, the more aggressive, the more I like it. Like, I don't know what
yeah,
it is because I've
it,
always
it
loved the
can
concept of
happen.
it, but I
It
don't
can
know. I
happen.
couldn't take it. Yeah.
Yeah, there's even some guys, I won't name them, but known in the scene, that wrote to me and
Hmm.
said that they started actually to enjoy black metal watching my videos, and they know about black metal before, but they never
Yeah.
really get into it. So I guess that the video gave them some curiosity, to start to listen something for in a more serious matter. So it's always fun, getting those messages,
You make it
especially.
fun, in a way. I think that's what it is. You make it fun in a way. You kind
Yeah,
of
I guess. Yeah, there's also, I've seen a lot of teenagers, write to me on Instagram saying, "Thanks to you, I started to listen to black metal, and stuff like this." And uh, I'm really happy, to get those
yeah.
kind of messages, because I'm doing something right, you know, when I get those appreciation.
I feel like
Right.
you're giving these histories, like people feeling a little more invested and they know a little bit more about the artists, so they feel kind of comfortable. And they might not want to ask
Yeah,
these questions because there is not, it still isn't a huge popular genre. There's a lot
yeah,
of
yeah.
information that's still not being shared.
The thing is that a lot of people are interested in the story, but also to see those places, where
Hmm.
their favorite musicians live and so on. And that's what I was fascinated when I was younger. I wanted to know, like, where those people rehearsal, how is, living there, what they do. And when I found myself here and I started to film, I guess that was interesting for a lot of
Yeah.
people, as I can see. Um, uh, Especially for people that live really far, and they can't afford to travel to Norway and see those places.
That was my feeling with watching your stuff. I think the same thing. I'm like, I could never go there. Well, maybe someday, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, it's awesome to see it this way.
Yeah, because at the end, even if you can travel, you end up being the capital. you end up being in Oslo, maybe, etc. But there's some places you have to maybe drive, 5 hours. They are not really
Yeah.
easy to get, So I guess people enjoy to see those places, at least from a screen.
Well, yeah, I think it's a really good thing. So, actually, you got me into this too. So I finally saw the Mayhem movie, the Lords of Chaos.
Yeah,
I've been putting it off because I've been afraid it's gonna be cheesy. It's gonna be sad. It's gonna bother me. Because movies tend to do that.
yeah, yeah.
Then I saw your review of it, and it kind of put me in a better spot, prepared for like there's good stuff and there's just cheesy stuff, and a good way to approach it. Like it gave me some perspective, and I finally
Uh,
watched it.
about the movie,
Yeah, because
as
I
I
didn't know how
said
to
many,
approach it. I think you gave me a little heads up.
yeah, as I said many times, I actually end up enjoying it, for some
Yeah.
things because they were able to catch the kind of the atmosphere in some parts.
Hmm.
I think that they shouldn't go for the funny comedy stuff that they put into it.
Right.
Um, so I didn't really like that part, but I really like the representation, that they did of some places, and some stuff were actually cool, and portrayed in a good way. Others were totally pretty cringe. So as I said in the review, like expect to watch a movie, not based on real stuff about black metal, and take it for what is it, entertaining movie. If you take it like this,
Right.
it's entertaining in my opinion. If you're taking it as oh, let's see what really happens in the 90s, they're not really, they got some things right, but the
Not
comedy
everything.
over
I
it.
mean, people are gonna think the chocolate milk thing and the whole.
Yeah, the
I
chocolate
mean,
milk stuff,
it
it's
was
just
funny. It was just funny, but that was like it's
exactly.
the wrong movie. Wrong movie.
Yeah,
That's gonna
exactly.
become like history at some point. I'm like,
Yeah,
that's gonna become musical history of the band.
yeah, I think that they got right the parts with Dead.
Hmm.
uh I think the parts with Varg were totally,
Yeah, that was kind of
they were
crazy.
kind
That was
of
wacky.
yeah. And the fact Euronymous cut his hair and at the end ended up being this romantic thing, it's just like,
Yeah, that was unneeded.
yeah, unneeded. It started good at the beginning and ended up like this. I'm like, okay. As I say,
It's like a
there's some
sad.
part that are really good, some part you're like, oh fuck, why did you did that, like.
Yeah, it starts with the black metal movie and with a sad romance tragedy. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
like,
it was unnecessary, like it
yeah.
was really unnecessary.
I think it just ended a different way. I'm like, oh, it was something good. It started good. And I've had, like I said, I had one of the guys on, I had to tell on for Mayhem. I didn't really ask him about that because the time frame really wasn't his. And problem is, I have bands on. I don't want to go on and dip into that too much of the past with a lot of bands because the nostalgia thing, it gets beat up so much. If I have an artist on, I try staying current also.
Yeah,
And a lot of these
yeah.
artists, like you said, you actually did a thing talk about it till the other day. He's very current with a million things going on. He's a very smart guy. So why would you waste your time talking about that old stuff like people do?
Yeah, yeah.
That's always a challenge. So the other question I was going to have, so with Lords of Chaos, did your show pick up even more followers because of curiosity?
I think yes. I think that especially on TikTok, a lot of teenagers got their first approach with black metal thanks to all those clips,
Well,
that
yeah,
are circulating about the bromance and this kind of stuff. So yeah, they're probably curious about what is it, and they
yeah.
check the band out, they listen something, maybe they end up liking it. So that's their first approach. If it's good or not, I don't know.
I figured it was a good gateway drug to your channel as well. It's always kind of curious.
Yeah, yeah,
As a
it
creator, I
helps.
think it was kind of a good start. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, as a YouTuber, yeah, it helps it helps,
So
especially talking about it also and etc. Yeah.
so people are new. Um, you should subscribe to the YouTube channel stuff. And so as you know, you do guitar stuff and you do other playing stuff. You do a lot of vlogs, and you learn a lot about history and it's lighthearted. But you also travel around with your band. You show that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's jump into your bands. Let's start the first one, your main one,
Triglav.
the progression. Yeah, trigger. So you're is it the second album, third album you're at now?
I'm currently working finishing the third one.
Okay.
The Ritual was
Okay.
the second one.
Okay. So and then how's touring going for you? Because I know there's been a struggle, like location wise, and then coordinating
Um
a band.
yeah, with the band is always it's like when it comes to play live, especially now with all the increased prices, about gas, etc. We always have to pick up just shows that where we are able to cover the cost to make something. So
Of
we
course.
got offers in the past also to do like maybe a week tour, across Europe, but we weren't able, to cover the cost and make anything out of it. And we got an offer to play now in September for 2 weeks across Europe, and I have to decline that too. I make a video, to show the costs, etc.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
And
I saw that one too.
just recently I saw that Jungle Rot um,
Hmm?
like started a GoFundMe because like they lost a airplane in Europe and they were already down $5,000, something like this.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah, it's a risk. It's a huge risk, especially for bands at this level. So I'm just trying to keep it simple. When we can
I
cover
get
the
that.
cost.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, I actually talked about the cost too. Why bands can't tour, and why they can't come from Europe over to USA, or why they can't just pop over to your favorite country, or like the economics. I mean, some bands would be like they're happy if they just broke even, but just
Yep.
breaking even is insane. I talk about the bus prices. Like if you're even a bigger band, you want to do a bus costs like 1,500. Just the insurance, and you have to keep the band, the gas, and that, and you have plane tickets, and then rehearsal. And
Yeah.
actually, when you get to the gig, you know, you just want to break
Yeah.
even.
Yeah. And the main problem is that, when you are a 4 or 5 individual in the band, and you split the cost, let's say you have $5,000 cost and you're 5 members, it's 1,000 each. But if you're a one man band like I am, for me it's $5,000. It's
No,
it's on me. So if something goes wrong, my guys want to be paid. They don't
yeah.
care. If something
That's the trade off, though, with
goes
the
wrong.
bigger risk, bigger reward, though. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
that's
If
your
everything
that's the
goes
thing.
well, it's a good thing. That you can take decision in the band. If there's something you don't like in the songs, you change it. You don't have to talk with anybody else. And so that's there's positive and negatives, on all stuff. But I'm quite happy like this.
I respect that. I get that. I'm actually impressed how well you keep pressing on and doing it, and still find a way to get these gigs, decent profile gigs too. And keep it together.
Yeah, actually, people asking me like how you find gigs, and I don't know. I never contact anybody. Usually I've got email about
Hmm.
some offers, and that's it. I wouldn't even know where to start. Because if you're asking to play like for me sounds weird. Like make a price. Then
Yeah,
when I am the one that I'm asking, for playing, but when a promoter contact you, means that there's interest from other side. So yeah, usually I just wait. If someone wants to us to play, they contact
yeah.
us,
Well, that's where
and
your
that's it.
channels helped you out, I think, because it's made you visible, and the people that like you listen to your music, and it makes you more valuable,
A
and
lot
people
of
are going to
fans,
request you.
have actually talked with some promoters, local promoters from the area, and I've got some of those promoters, writing to me. But as always, sometimes are too far. There's people asking me when you're gonna play in the US, and that's like it's kind of really really hard.
You need for that. You do need a tour. You need part of a tour package. You know, even if you're
You
the
need
opening
a
act for like two or three other bigger bands, and they can put you coming in.
yeah,
And even
yeah.
if it's
You
a
need
wash to the country, it'd be good because you could still, if it's even, you can at least get the
yeah.
exposure your first tour.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, exactly. But it's I'm promoting myself on YouTube, but you need also a good promotion on different channels, on
yeah.
webzines, and your label should do something, and it's a lot of work, to get to the point where you can actually comfortable just go and play.
Well, I think you're getting well known in that genre, in the niche of it, and that's why I'm having you on because I'm hoping that other people could obviously do all kinds of artists on here because music. You know what I mean? I'm hoping more people will
Yeah,
take the time to listen to your music, and be exposed to it.
yeah,
That's my hope. You know, um, so I've also noticed you got some more music coming on though.
yeah,
So
yeah.
so the evolution of that because doing the YouTube videos, creating, and then writing music for a new album. You have
The
the entire
funny,
band. So you want to have two more projects?
yeah, I have this 80s project vision where I have almost a full album ready. I'm just waiting for the new singer. He has some problem with his studio. He have to move, so I'm leaving him total freedom, for vocals and lyrics. So he's doing that, I don't.
Wow. So
Yeah, he's
not
very
just
good
all
in that,
you. Huh?
No, I I wrote the lyrics and some vocal melodies for the first song that was
Mhm.
released a few years ago. But when he sent me his vocals, with his melodies, I'm like, okay, this sounds much better than what could come out with,
Right.
as a 80s vocals, like. So I left that to him. But since he's now, fixing his studio, and since I'm actually searching a singer now for Triglav, and I will get to that. I had, some inspiration to. I was actually, just jamming on some drums of Vision, and I forgot to silence the synth. So I was just jamming, and the synth came, and I was like, "Holy shit, this sounds pretty good." I was just jamming some heavy thrash metal, uh,
Yep.
and the reverb snare and the synth and the tempo was right. Everything fits well. I was like, "Hey, this sounds good." I can start something new. And then I was playing with my girlfriend and some friends this board game, called Talisman, and there was this how you call it, like night called Grave Night, and I was like, "Fuck that name sounds so fucking cool." I can use it for a band. And then between the name and me writing some music for this new project, I decided,
Yep.
what, I'm going full in. But that took me like for those 3 songs took me 2 months, and you can see that on YouTube because I didn't
I've
upload.
I've
I
I've watched them. They come to my feed because on your
I
YouTube.
I didn't upload too much videos for 2 months on YouTube. That's not really good, when you are a YouTuber. But I was so fixated with this project that
Yeah.
I was recording a video for YouTube, and then for the next 4 or 5 days, I was just 8 hours straight working on this project.
Mm.
And that's my problem when I get into something. Doesn't matter if economically it's not good for me. I'm just I'm just going for it. So yeah. So yeah,
I think that was the solution in the long run, though. Just staying focused, not
yeah, it's
going
so
everywhere.
hard when you're focusing on something that you're having so much fun, and
Mhm.
then you're like, oh fuck, I have to stop right now, do something else, and then go back to it. It's like I like always to start something and finish it, and then start something new.
Well, I think you draw the line, and so it's interesting to me. Is so I'm 55, and I think you're like in your mid 30s, right? There's like a 20-year
37.
difference, I think. Yeah, okay. So with your age is a little bit different. So you were growing up in a different time period. So some of the artists I talked to that are like even older than me, when they a lot of things are like, we need to, the managers in these companies, record companies, like, oh, your Instagram numbers aren't big enough, we're not going to sign you. They're like, but I had 2 multi-platinum albums or 5 multi-platinum albums. Like, yeah, but your Instagram numbers are way lower than this kid in their bedroom we had. And so they're going for people that have never toured. So that was a nightmare for these guys and women and people. But the push of social media for a lot of these people, they just couldn't do it. A lot of them, or they didn't. They just didn't know how to do it. Or you're in a spot where you kind of grew up with it, sort of, and I think you've
uh,
naturally got a little bit more of a balance
on one side
than most artists.
it helped me, on the other not, because there's many labels that are pretty old school. So if they know me from YouTube, they will not take me serious on the band side,
You think
on the
so?
music side. Yeah, I think so. And I mean, the ritual sold really
But
well.
literally, you show a dedicated, or you show a serious show with your band and how you do it. I mean, it shows like it's literally like having a video resume of somebody you could have on your label, and you can see who they really are. Like, what a gift for a record label to do to see who you really are.
Yeah, and I know I was thinking the same, but I mean, it's all about mentality. Some labels just, there's some people, sometimes I read some review, of the last album, and some people, some reviewers, some people that review the album wrote like it's impressive album for a YouTuber. And I'm like, what that means, like I started as a musician and I also started to do YouTube, So what if someone does video can do music, So it's kind of, it's kind of weird to read some stuff, but
Yeah, it is kind of hard. I've never been referred to as a YouTuber, or like I don't. I'm just a dad that does a music show, man. I'm like, you
yeah,
know what I mean?
I released my
Because
first
there's a hole in the
album.
internet.
Yeah, I released my first album in 2019, and this channel didn't even exist. I opened it later,
Yeah,
so um, I was already doing music. My whole life
so funny.
before.
They call you that 'cause I
Yeah,
literally think of you as a musician that has a YouTube channel.
yeah,
Literally the first impression I got. I mean, that's what you put off. Is all you're not. Everything
but
relates back to you doing music.
yeah, but that's also you can see many musicians, like this. There's also the guitarist from Archspire. He also does
Mhm.
a lot of YouTube videos. There's Nick Nocturnal. He does music, but also do videos. There's Taluk from Mayhem. He also has a
Yep.
channel when he blogged many times. When they were playing live, etc. So I don't know.
Yeah. I think you're in a good spot, a better spot. I don't. Yeah, you're right. There's no perfect world, but I think you're in a better spot than. I also think what I've gotten the feeling a lot of labels want, the whole package. They want the turnkey, so they can just get everything. Like you got the audience, you got the music, you already recorded it yourself. They just want to distribute it and get the money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Uh,
And sometimes it's
I
better to distribute
sometimes
yourself.
sometimes I don't really know what's going on with the label nowadays. Like I've been in contact with some labels for the new album, and they started to ask me like, how much streams, how much this, how much that, and
Yeah.
I'm thinking like, I have 2 albums out. Why are you asking about streams when if you like the music, just go for it.
Run it.
Why you're asking me
Right.
for streams, how much copy I already sold? You makes me think. It makes me think like you don't care about the music, but you just want to see how much the music I've sold.
Right.
To
Exactly.
sign me. So it's kind of disappointing on one side because I grow up thinking the label signed you, the label works for you, the label put the same passion that you put, but
Mhm.
in some cases it is like this. I know some labels that are like this, but others are just like how much streams you got, how much vinyls you sold,
No, I hear that a lot, and I know some artists. There's actually some websites if you're ever looking, I can refer you to that actually go. And I talk about it now. It's called Rewards Music is one of them. The Bezos app has. A lot of them have like you manage your own stuff at the sites, and you manage your own music and your own product, and everything you kind of get back yourself. Like you can do. Say you normally get the label would reach out 1,000 people. We'll say right. Say you do this yourself, whether it's this label or anywhere else, you do it, and you reach 100 people instead. You doing it yourself, and you get all the profit. You're gonna make more money than 1,000.
yeah, absolutely.
So
I'm
the
trying.
theory is that the lower end you do yourself, if you can do it yourself, and it's kind of like what this website's like, and I'm sure other things like that. It seems to be like a lot of artists are going for that route. Might be a little more work, but the payoff because you're not getting anything a lot of times from these record labels
Yeah,
unless they're fans of you.
for me, yeah, for me, it isn't even get too much. I will just love that the product that I'm giving to you, ready and finished,
Paying your
that
rent's
you.
good. Having health insurance is good. Those are good things. Well, you're in Europe,
Yeah,
so you already have health insurance, but paying your rent's good.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
And eating is good.
Definitely.
Who's gonna buy those
Yeah, yeah,
veggie nuggies for you? You
yeah,
need
yeah. You're right. Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to do with Grave Knight. For now, I'm with no label. I didn't even want to send the project to anybody, But I would love to have a physical release, of the album and get some more promotion because I can do all the stuff alone. But between Tryglav, between YouTube, between the other band, I have to always find time, to do reels or new videos,
Yeah.
and it takes time. For example, for the single video that I've released, it took us the entire day of filming and an entire day of editing. It was just me and my
Wow.
friend, in his basement, and I bought.
Editing takes forever. People don't realize that.
It takes
Forever.
forever. It's just like the music. It's some people, you know, for example, some people I've seen they don't like MIDI drums. I found them really useful because you can always change something that doesn't work right after
Right.
2 weeks, maybe. And even in Grave Night, I spend much more time in those drums that are really simple because it's old school heavy metal than the
Right.
entire guitars or bass, etc. Because you have to find, even if it's just a 4/4, you have to find the right beat, the right feel, that fits perfectly with the song. And I spend sometimes 5-6 hours just re-listening, change this, try this. It's a lot of work.
It's a rabbit hole for you. I mean,
Yeah,
and I think and you need to get the channel going because I think that's your probably a main source of income at this point, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
and I think it's a good thing that I think it's a good place for you right now too with all your projects because it helps keep them all visual.
Yeah, it helps because at least
It
I
is
have
the
people that
mothership.
yeah, I have people that not only cares, when I do videos about others, but that they care about my stuff, my music.
Right.
So I'm really grateful for that. So also with
Well,
Grave
that's
Nights
how
was
I came onto yours, and it led to this conversation that I'm like,
yeah,
not only like your channel, sorry if I stepped on you, delay there, but I also like your music, and I'm like, I want to help them spread the word. I hope, some people listen to you,
yeah.
because of that. It's because of your channel, and it was not what I was looking for. In fact, I get so much music sent to me. I was actually not looking for music. I was looking for something music related
Yeah,
because
that's
in
how.
my slot, I get hundreds of albums sent to me from all kinds of labels and individuals every week.
That's why I never try to push my music in the way that I'm like, hey, listen to my song, listen to my music. I always try to, okay, I'm blogging. Obviously it's black metal. What music I can put there, I will put my music. So I'm not saying check my band. I just put the music. And then I see
Mhm.
people in the comment section, what band is this? Or people that probably shazam the song.
Yeah,
And this is how I end up, how people ended up knowing that it's my band. So I don't like forcing people or sending stuff to people, because every band is doing that. And I think
right.
that obviously people are just like bored to even try to listen something new, because there's thousands of things. So I'm just trying to,
So much.
yeah, it's like with the Grave Night. I made the page, I share it on my personal Instagram also, but I never wrote like follow my new band, follow this. I'm just trying to grow it uh slowly for people that really enjoy the music. I don't need followers.
It well, it's organic. I think it's funny. Like makes you laugh. So I was talking to. I'm not trying to name drop, but I was so psyched. I talked to Henry Rollins like last week, right?
Yeah, I've seen that.
So if you saw the whole thing, I had to edit it because I was like long, and then afterwards we talked even more. So I got like it was awesome. But he has a radio show, and so people aren't aware. Didn't see it? He has a radio show, and I'm like, how do you manage? And this guy just is the perfect librarian of music, and he's so perfect when he catalogs everything. And I was like, how can you get new music in all the time, but also enjoy your old stuff like you used to enjoy it? I get like I drowned in it. I literally get like drunk on like all this new music, and then I'm like, I'm just so fatigued to listen to my old stuff anymore. You go back, you know what I mean? Like, and I feel like I gotta listen to this now before I do this thing. I should listen to this new album. It's bands I like. It's just bands new albums. I just feel like there's just so much, or at least previewing. I'm never mean to anybody. I'll say, "You're a good band. I just can't do it," or "Here's the good parts." That if people ask me all the time, like, "What should I do with my music?" I'll give my opinions because I used to do recording studio stuff. But I'm like, with him, he says, "Well, he looks at music two different ways. He has carbohydrates and proteins. He breaks the old music and new music into like different groups. Like some are carbohydrates and some are proteins. You gotta have a balance. And he kind of breaks them up visually like that. And I'm like, God, that's pretty awesome. You know,
Yeah.
because there is a balance, and I think like that's a struggle with me. But I think you probably have that same other struggle yourself because if you get all these different bands going on and your channel and the influx of like you want to stay current and you don't want to be redundant on YouTube in a way. So you want to be careful you're not doing the same things everybody else also. You know, So you
Yeah.
still have to be kind of aware of what's going on. So I mean, there's a certain point where just how much can you just take in? Sometimes I just want to. I just turn everything off. I play my guitar and I plug in, or I play my record
Yeah.
player.
When I finished Grave Nights, I just play guitar for 2 3 months, straight, constant. That at some point I was like, I didn't touch the guitar anymore. Like you need a
Yeah.
pause. After a while, it's like with the new Tryglav album. Took me like so much to finish to record all the instrumental, etc. That I didn't want to see nor the guitar, nor the PC, nor the screen. Nothing.
Mhm.
So you have to know how to balance all this stuff. But sometimes it's hard.
What do you think about doing yourself in part of the writing process? Is that something you'd ever cover? I think I know a lot of people like the behind the scenes that don't do it or are interested in it. Like I know the music nerds like certain things, like the gear you're using, or here's kind of how I write this, like kind of like a combo of your vlog plus you doing your solos type of thing. You've done things like that when you like shared like your old studio unit back in the day and different things you've done. Would you ever just like break down you how you write a song and stuff like that for people?
I I actually have to do that for months already. I always say I have a Patreon uh, page, and I
Okay.
already did a video where I was showing how I learned to do the tremolo picking, and
Okay.
I will say I have to record that part, because a lot of people ask me how you do how you record your stuff, if you start from a riff or how you start. So it's something that I always think about, to do it, and I'm
Like
always doing
more like
something
do like a
different.
song, do like a song. Like here's
Yeah,
part of the
yeah, yeah.
process
To
of
do out,
edit.
so
I saw
yeah,
the
to show the
tremolo parts
entire
like
process.
that. I think I don't know the Patreon, so if that's actually so active. I want people to see that too because it's more content of yours. I have not seen that, so I was not aware of that part. So
No,
sorry.
no, don't worry. It's also like, how you say, it's not something that I promote. It's just there. So
But if that's content on there that I wasn't aware of, because I mean, I think that's kind of interesting. I think from comments and people, they seem very interested in that. And I didn't know if the reason why I'm asking you because if people are asking about it, I want to know. You could say, well, it's just too confident for me to do that because if I'm writing, I got the camera on me, or I can just put the camera on me and write when I'm done. Go back and chop it up a little bit and do some audio over it and explain some things to people, part of the
yeah.
process. And it's easy content for you, or it's just too much. You know what I mean?
Uh,
It could be.
it depends. If I have to write an entire song directly, in front of the camera, I think that I will have a block, just because I know that
Yeah.
I'm filming myself and the riffs won't come out
I
because my
respect
brain
that
wouldn't
too.
be
No,
won't
I
be
get that.
But if I have something like the new Triglav album recorded, I can go through it, and say I started from here, then I found this because I did this and that, so that will be much more easier.
Well, I think you have is now people. I want them to realize how much time you have to put in to edit your little bits and the comedy bits, and just your cuts are really good, and you shoot it well. A lot of effort put into what you do. You know, and I
You
don't
mean
think
on
people realize the
on,
amount of time
on the
on
YouTube
your
videos?
blogs, anything you actually, yeah, anything you do, any of your videos
Yeah,
actually.
especially in the vlogs. The vlogs are the hardest because you have to make them in a way that it's not like 1 hour of you have to keep it going on
There's a pace.
nicely.
There's a pace. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
that
have a rhythm to
pace.
it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That people find interesting. So I've noticed every time I'm going to visit a place that is really small, where some musician has born or lived there, like I did with Jon from Dissection. The place is really small, so I was thinking, okay, to fill it up, I will do some sort of documentary, not only show the place but also speak about the history, what he did when he was young, etc. So just to make it more interesting. But also, even here, I have a huge problem with speaking. When I record myself, sometimes my brain is faster than my mouth, or vice versa. So even for one sentence, maybe there's a 5-6 cut. And you can see from the video that there's a lot of cut. And
You
that's
did
a
that in
huge.
one of your videos. You actually showed it and you're laughing. I thought it was pretty funny. That's what I was going to
Ah,
ask you about that. It's hard. I can
it's
talk to
hard.
anybody. I couldn't at the beginning, right? I can talk to any musician. If you look at me right now, it's hard at first, but then you put like a thing for you to talk to people about without anybody there. It's like 5 minutes. I can't do it. I choke. It's so hard.
Yeah, I'm talking, in my head about the video, and I'm preparing it in my head, and then I turn on the camera, and I'm like, ah, and cut, 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 cut. I'm like, fuck. It takes me more time for editing than anything else. Just because I
Yeah.
can't get it right, at first, so I have to repeat and repeat, and that's the problem.
Well, you do a good job. I think, like even for me, for my show, I put background on it. Some people don't even do that for their stuff. I put little pieces on it, and it still takes me a while to do it. And I go back and I'll edit little things out if I can, and little audio mistakes or things like that. You know what I mean? Not the context. Or if the artist wants a little bit shorter, I'll do that or take things out. I'm never gonna put things I don't want because sometimes I'll be like, I shouldn't have told that release date. Can you cut it out? Or I should have told you about that guy's house. Like I get a lot of that, and I have to go back and cut it out.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I want to thank you. I'm gonna put the links for all of your stuff underneath. I want people to subscribe to you, check out your music, check out all your bands because maybe one's not good, one's the other. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's three different genres.
There's three different bands to go for. We're waiting for his soft rock one maybe next spring, but if you never know. So check him out and subscribe to stuff, and then and maybe down the road we'll come back and you'll come back. We can do some things together. Um,
Absolutely.
but thank you for being on the show, man. I appreciate it. This has been
Thanks
fun.
for having me, man. It was a pleasure.